Hi, welcome back to my channel, you guys. Thank you for the 3 new subscribers that I gained over January. Thank you for the views. I just want to continue to grow on my channel, and that's why today I kind of want to do this story time to have like a transparent moment and really talk about a big deal in my life that happened. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share my channel, share my videos, and keep tuning in. So let's get into it. So as you can see by the title, this is a story time about the real reasons, or the real reason that I moved all the way here to Houston, Texas. So 2020, I know, crazy, peak pandemic time, but 2020, I decided to pick up and relocate my life. So it was the beginning of 2020, and I had just got out of a relationship, and it was a pretty bad breakup, like extremely bad breakup. And after that, like, that was just like hard for me. That was a really hard time for me. So I moved back home. Well, not moved back home, but like, you know how you like date someone and you're always with them, like you pretty much not live together, but pretty much live together. So that's what that was. So I went back home, of course, because there's no longer a relationship. And being at home for me has always been a very hard thing to do because I don't really get along with my family like that. And those reasons are mainly because I don't really stand where they stand. Like, my morals are different, my values are different, the way I navigate life is 100% different. So I butt heads with the people in the house a lot. So me and my mom, we did not have a good relationship. Peak 2020, we bumped heads when I say bumped heads every single day, we bumped heads every single day. It could be over anything, we were bumping heads. And that becomes exhausting. That becomes stressful. It's annoying. The pandemic is going on. You can't leave the house. And so imagine being quarantined and you're bumping heads with somebody. But you know, quarantine was just about to happen. Like, it was like early 2020. So then, you know, I'm like, oh, my sister had her own place at the time, and I have nieces, and I love them dearly. So I'm like, you know, I could see them every day, So I decided, you know, I'm just gonna come stay over her house, and I would be over her house every single day to the point where it was just like, I was just staying with her. So while quarantine started, and I would just be there, and I kind of liked being there because of the kids. So that turned into me kind of opening up and starting to date, which I know I had just got out of a relationship, but you know how like in the relationship you're kind of checked out. You're checked out, like you kind of know something is over, you kind of know something needs to end, but y'all still like not even trying to make it work, but y'all still have that pull with each other. So it was kind of like it was over before it was over. So anyways, I started like talking to somebody new, and that was like a good time to talk because you're quarantined. All we can do is talk on the damn phone. So that happened, and so that kind of made me be like, okay, like it was still a hard time, but having someone who was like a really good friend, because it wasn't even dating. If you think, like, I wasn't even dating anybody new because, like I said, it was quarantine, and on top of that, like, it was just a friend. It was just a friendship. Like, there was light flirting, but anything, like, it was just like a really good friend to have. And so time's going on, and then a lot of things transpired between me living with my sister and then things happening at home. So mind you, I don't know why, okay, sidetrack, I don't know why I decided to work 2 jobs during the pandemic and everyone's getting unemployment. I don't know why I didn't get unemployment. I don't know why I didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna stay home and do that. I literally was working at Chili's and at Lowe's. Literally, like I would go to Chili's, rush, change clothes, and go to Lowe's, or I'd be at Lowe's, change clothes, and go to Chili's. Don't know why that happened. Oh, I'm forgetting something really important that happened. Oh yeah, so pandemic, before the pandemic started, like it was just beginning. Coronavirus was just beginning. So it wasn't quarantine yet. Beginning of 2020, my right lung collapsed. And I kind of want to do that as a separate story time, so I'll do that separately, but I'm just going to tell y'all now. So my right lung had collapsed early 2020, so I was in the hospital. And this was before, I know it was before quarantine because I could have visitors, because people came to see me, my family. So that happened. And so it was just like, that happened, the breakup happened, butting heads with my mom. And it just, everything was just going so freaking left. Everything was going so freaking left. And then I was living with my sister, so time was going by. And then an incident happened at my sister's house to where it was just really bad. It was just really, really bad. And I got put out. And so nothing I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything crazy. I just want to throw that out there. I didn't do anything, literally. So that's why I'm saying, like, it was just an incident outside of me being Dominique, and I got put out. So after that, you could kind of go places a little bit, not really, but like I started spending more time with the person that I was talking to, like the person I had met. And so that kind of helped me get out of that family life. Like, I could get away from home. It was like an escape. Like, I loved to leave the house. I didn't have to go anywhere because it was just like, I'm so stressed around my family. So yeah, that happened. And after I got kicked out, I moved back in at my original home with my family. And it was just like, I couldn't. It was so stressful. Like, I didn't get along with those people. And I still feel like I don't get along with those people. But that's going to come out at the end of the year. Anyways. But yeah, so I moved back home. Me and my mom still butting heads. So that's why I will always be gone from the house. And I wasn't telling her who I was spending time with. Because at that time, my mom, she wasn't really supporting. She wasn't supportive of like LGBTQ. Like she wasn't with that. She wasn't with that at all. So I wouldn't tell her anything. Like, I would just be like, oh, I'm finna go. Like, I'm just finna go. Or I wouldn't say anything. Like, I would just leave the house because I needed it. For my sanity and my mental health, I needed to just get out the house. So time was going by. The summer went by. The summer wasn't so bad. I was just working. And then my lung collapsed again, like end of summer, like August, I think it was. So this is the second time, 2020, my lung, the same right lung, collapsed again. And this time I knew that it was about to collapse because I knew the feelings that I felt from the first time. So I was going to work and my chest would hurt so bad. Like, I could breathe like I'm normally breathing now. I wasn't even wheezing. I could breathe like this and it would hurt so bad. Or I could just, like, I was a server, so I'm lifting trays like that. That took so much out of me and it was hurting so bad. And I was like, I know exactly what's going on. So it was like August. I finished my shift. I took myself to the hospital. I couldn't have any visitors because that was like quarantine for real, for real. Couldn't have no visitors. I was in there by myself. I would cry. I was crying every day, y'all. Like, for real. I was crying every day. I was just like, this is it. Like, this is the second time. I'm gonna need a lung transplant, which was gonna be the case. Like, they told me, like, you know, if there wasn't nothing to do, like, to fix it, then I was gonna have to get a new lung. So that's pretty fucking extreme. I was extremely scared. And it was just like, damn, like, nothing good is happening for me in Memphis. Like, I can't, like, there's nothing good coming out of being here. So I was in the hospital for a week. And I couldn't walk. I had to have a nurse come in there and help me go to the bathroom, get up. Like, I could not. I had zero strength, zero energy. And then I got out of the hospital. I still could barely walk, but I had to get some strength in my legs because they were like, if you don't walk when you get out the hospital after having surgery, like, I could get blood clots in my legs. So I had to walk around when I got home. What they ended up doing is I had an air bubble on my lung and they had to put a staple on it. So I haven't had any complications since 2020. Thank you, God. Shout out to God. I haven't had any complications, any problems with my lungs, so I'm extremely happy about that. But yeah, I had to get a staple on my lung, and I got out the hospital, had to go back to the house, and mind you, so I'm like out of the hospital, I had to rest, and nobody checked on me. Like my mom, of course, but like, okay, so in our house, it was my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my mother, me, and my cousin, like an older grown woman cousin. Nobody really did that. Like when I first got out, it was just like, yeah, okay, she's home. But like in our household, the way I grew up, resting is not an option. Like we get in trouble for laying down, for being tired, for a lot of things, and that's going to be something that I'll talk about later on in life. But I would just rest, and it was just like, you know, my grandma, she's not really a nice person at all, ever. She's never been nice to me, for multiple reasons that I could really get into. But she would just come in and look at me like there was nothing. Like, do you need anything? Like my mom was the only person who would be like, do you need anything? Like, you know, did I walk around today or anything like that? Okay, so I'm healed, hallelujah. Time was going by, and me and my mom had got into it one time. We got into it because she found out that I was dating a female, a woman, which I had just dated a woman, and she wasn't with that, and so it was happening again. So I guess she felt some type of way. Like, you know how parents be like, it's a phase, like you're gonna get a man. But that wasn't the, it wasn't a phase, baby girl. It's not a phase. So she just wasn't with that, and so we got into it one time. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because before, I was already plotting. Nobody knew. I was already plotting, like telling the person I was dating, I'm finna move. I fuck with you, I like you, but I'm leaving here. Like, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. It's nothing for me here. I'm depressed. I was extremely depressed being there. I had no confidence. I had lost myself, lost my friends, gained so much weight. I was not happy. There was nothing for me. I felt like there was nothing for me to be happy about there besides my nieces, which is, they're always going to be my why. Like, literally, they're the reason for me to still be here. But I was just so unhappy. And that night, me and my mom got into it, y'all. I was like, you know what? That's fine. So this is what happened that night. So me and my mom going back and forth, getting into it, and my aunt, my grandmother's sister, my aunt was over our house at the time, right? And my aunt is very, how do I put this? She's an extreme Christian, if that makes sense. She's an extreme Christian. So she's, and to me, my family's 100% hypocritical when it comes to Christianity and the Bible and things like that, but I'm not even gonna do it. But extreme Christian, very hypocritical. And so my aunt was in the hallway. Our house has a long hallway. And so me and my mom getting into it. And so my aunt was in the hallway, and you can hear everything because the doors are open. Like, I don't know, the doors are, like, the bedroom doors are always open at the at my house. So me and my mom get into it. My auntie's in the hallway, and my mom goes, I bet you wouldn't tell your auntie how you're dating a girl. And my heart sank. Mind you, I'm on the phone with the girl. I'm on the phone with her because I was always on the phone with her. So she's on the phone listening to the whole shebang. So my mom says that basically you just outed me. You just outed me to the entire family, to basically the entire family, because my family can't hold water. So you tell one person, you basically have told all the wrong family your business. So my mom, she goes, I bet you didn't tell your auntie you didn't. And I could, now looking back on it, it was very intentional. It was very, I want everybody to hear, like, trying to take a jab at me, and you supposed to be my mom. So anyways, so she said that. And so then at that point, I'm just like, no, she didn't. And my auntie, of course, my family, they're gonna be in your business. So my auntie, let me get comfortable, honey. So my auntie comes in the room, and she was like, what? She's older. She's like past 60. Like, she's an older auntie. So she was like, what? And then I was just looking like, kind of like, why would you even say that? Why would you do that? And so at that point, me and my auntie going back and forth, not an argument, just like a heated conversation. So I'm just like, what's wrong with dating a girl? Like, I don't see the big deal. It's really not y'all business. It really ain't y'all place. It's my decision. It's my life. Like, I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not affecting nobody. I didn't understand, like, what is the big deal? Mind you, my auntie literally, during this back and forth with my auntie, she literally told me that she was going to send me to a camp. A camp, because she said, told y'all she's a heavy Christian. So she was like, I know a girl who was at my church and she thought that she liked girls too. And she went to this camp and she came back and, like, you know, I guess she was saved and da-da-da. And I'm just like, I'm not doing, like, first of all, I'm grown. You can't tell me where I'm gonna go. I'm not going there. But she was just like, you know, you can do that and da-da-da. And I was just like, I don't see the problem with that. Like, I'm not going to no freaking camp. Anyways, and I was just like, you know what? Y'all have a problem with homosexuality. Why y'all don't got a problem with that? I'm listing out family trauma. I'm airing everybody out. I don't care who it is. I'm like, y'all have a problem with this, but y'all got a problem with this. Y'all got a problem with this. Y'all got a problem with this. I'm airing out the family skeleton. So then she was just taken aback. Yeah, you didn't know I knew all that, did you? So she was just like stuck. She didn't have nothing to say. Every time I said something to her, she would be like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. Now y'all don't know about it. Because I'm eating her up in this argument. I'm eating her up. So I'm just like, you know, homosexuality is where y'all draw the line, but y'all don't draw the line about this. Y'all don't draw the line about this. And I'm like going in, and then I'm still on the phone, mind y'all. I'm still on the phone. I have my headphones in, so she's getting this whole shebang, and so I'm just like, no. I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop now. I'm hiding. I'm not gonna stop now. You want to talk about family trauma? You want to talk about it? We finna talk about it. Let's get into it. So we had got into it. And after that, that was it. I was done with Memphis. I was done with my family. I was like, packing my shit. So I didn't tell nobody I was moving. I literally mentioned it, but they didn't believe me. They just like, oh, like she just mad right now, the argument, so she just feeling some type of way. No, I'm done. So I went and bought some boxes from, like, you know, the freaking store. I got some boxes. I packed my stuff. I'm packing. I don't even care how it's packed. I don't care how nothing's packed. Stuff these boxes. So I'm packing all my stuff. And I didn't even get 100% of my stuff, but I was just like, I'm finna get 99% of my stuff. So I had got most of my stuff, and I was done. That was it. And the day before I moved, like, a lot of my family had seen me, but they were just like, they saw the boxes in my car, and I was like, oh, you really, like, you're really doing? Yes. I made sure my oil was changed. I filled my tank, and I was done. And that was it for me. And I honestly feel like that was the biggest blessing in my life, because since moving to Houston, what's that, like 2.5 years ago, I literally have found myself. I have figured myself out. I feel like I've started my own life, because living in Memphis, like, even going to college, my family wants to dictate, you know, you need to do this major. This is what you got to do. You got to go to college. You got to do, like, I feel like here, nobody tells me what to do. I figure things out on my own. I understand my purpose. I understand the things that I like, the things I don't like. So it's the biggest blessing for me that I moved away. And I tell people, like, if you want to do it, do it. I didn't have that much money. Like, I had a little bit of money, and I'm not even talking about a lot. Probably like $2,000. That was it. And even with that money, when I moved to Houston, my car stopped working. When I tell y'all I moved to Houston, and, you know, the person I was dating ended up moving with me. So we moved together, which I never pressured her to do. It was a choice. I already had said I was leaving. Like, you can come if you want to, but I'm leaving. This isn't healthy for me. So my car literally stopped working when I got here. Thank God I made it. I made it here fine. 2 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks into living in Houston, my car stopped working. So I didn't have a car anymore. I haven't had a car in 2 years, but I'm extremely blessed. God always makes a way out of no way. So it hasn't really been a huge, you know, thing for me to be like, damn. But I haven't had a car, so I didn't have my car. My phone stopped working when I moved here. My phone literally glitched out. I had to buy a new phone. And it was just like, you know, God let me get here. And everything had to be fresh. Like, I don't have the car I had in Memphis. I don't have the phone I had in Memphis. It was just like everything was new. Everything was fresh. It was a fresh start. Everything was just like, this is a new beginning for you. And I love it here. I love it here. People in my family would be like, oh, why did you choose that? But I feel like I knew Texas was a big place. I knew Houston was a big place. I felt like I know I want to be there. I'm gonna love it there. And I knew that everything was gonna work out. I didn't care how it was gonna work out, but I knew that I had God and I had a plan, and I was not looking back. And I haven't looked back, and I only go home once a year unless something serious happens. But yeah, that's why I moved. It wasn't no peachy like, I'm a grown up now, I want to move away. It was bad. And you know, like I said, since moving here has been a blessing. Like going to therapy back home, like 2020, I was 100% against therapy. I wasn't fucking with it. But like going to therapy, making new friends, like starting jobs, going back to school, that's another thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna do that in the next video. But like I'm 25 now, but going back to school, following my dreams, doing all the things I want to do, and being comfortable, and even the relationship with my mom, like being away, and now that I've been to therapy and I'm learning how to heal, like having boundaries with her, I can talk to my mom, and then I'm like, okay, that's enough mommy for today. Like I have to turn it off, but it's better. It's no bickering, it's no arguing, and it's just, thank God, it's just a better life for myself. I love my life now. I love myself. I've been losing weight, been on my weight loss journey. Like even on my Instagram, posting pictures, taking pictures every day, even this YouTube, even my podcast. I can just do all the things I love to do, and I don't owe nobody no explanation. I don't have to do what somebody else wants for my life. But that's why I moved to Houston, child. It was a long 2020, but these past years have been pretty good to me. And I know that God is going to continue to bless me and open new doors for me and just make this experience even better than it already is. But that's my story on anybody out there that wants to move, that got a toxic family, that they can't take it and your mental health depends on it. Move away, for real, because I know for a fact, I told my mama this, I said if I stayed in that house and I lived there, that family, that house would have been the death of me, because it was that bad. I've been suicidal before in that house. I've had an attempt in that house before. So it's just like, when you know in your heart and you want a better life, sometimes you just gotta take a risk, take a big leap. You gotta have some type of faith, honey, and do what you gotta do. Like, think about yourself. Put yourself first, put your mental first, and do it. Do it with nothing. I said $2,000, and I told y'all everything that went wrong when I got here, and I used that money because I had to. But do it for yourself. Always have, well, if you believe, always have God on your side. Pray every single day. My relationship with God is so tight, and I wasn't always there, and now I am. And yeah, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I really hope y'all enjoyed my story time. In the next video I'm gonna put out, it's probably gonna be like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie to you, because school starts next week. But yeah, the next video I'm gonna talk about a whole lot of other things, a whole lot of goals that I have, a whole lot of things that I'm getting into. And thank y'all for tuning in. Bye.